So today, we are making a classic Spanish rice dish that hails from the beautiful region of Murcia in southeastern Spain. We're talking Empedrado Murciano. This is basically a Spanish rice dish that's made with vegetables and beans. And let me tell you, it's got the most incredible flavors to it. It's above and beyond easy to make, and it's so good, you are not even gonna miss the meat, folks. This is what regional Spanish food is all about, and truly one of the best rice dishes that hail from Spain. Let's begin by grabbing a large frying pan, heating it with a medium heat, and adding in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is about 30 milliliters. At the same time, I'm going to add in 3 cups of vegetable broth into a saucepan, which is 710 milliliters. The one that I'm using is homemade. You'll find a link on how to make it in the iCard above. We'll pinch in a 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. You'll find a link to get the saffron threads I'm using from Golden Saffron in the description box below. And we'll heat it with a medium-high heat. While our broth and olive oil are heating up, I'm going to finely dice half of an onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, and cut 1 green bell pepper into thin strips that are 1 inch long, which is about 2.5 centimeters. After heating the olive oil for about 4 minutes and it's nice and hot, but as you can see it's not smoking, I'm going to add in the diced onion, the strips of green bell pepper, and the chopped garlic. And start mixing the ingredients around with the olive oil. That way each piece of vegetable is coated in the olive oil. And you don't have to mix this continuously. We are on a medium heat, but do get in there every minute or so. That way everything evenly sautés. After about 6 minutes, and the onions are nice and translucent, and the bell peppers and garlic lightly sautéed, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix. That way that paprika is coating all the vegetables. And like I always tell you, when you add in paprika into a hot pan, you want to mix it in there quickly, otherwise it easily gets a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 110 grams. The tomato sauce I'm using I made by finely grating 1 large tomato, but you can also use canned tomato sauce or even passata. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a mix and simmer the tomato sauce for a couple minutes, that way it can thicken up. After about 2 minutes and that tomato sauce has really thickened up, I'm going to add in 1 cup of uncooked round rice, which is 220 grams. Round rice is very similar to medium grain rice or arborio rice. And once again, we'll give this a mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together. Once everything's well mixed, I'm going to grab our hot saffron-infused vegetable broth and slowly add it into the pan. And we'll also add in 1 cup of cooked kidney beans, which is 275 grams. The ones that I'm using come from a jar, which is the same thing as the canned ones. Just make sure you add them into a sieve and rinse them under some cold running water before you add them into the pan. And we're going to raise the heat in the pan from a medium heat to a high heat. And we're going to give this one final mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly distributed. After this step, you don't want to mix the rice again, otherwise it disrupts the way that it cooks. And we'll top it off with 1 bay leaf. After simmering this for 6 to 7 minutes on a high heat, you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the rice, but there's still plenty of broth left. I'm going to lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this for another 3 to 4 minutes or until all that broth has been absorbed by the rice. After about 4 minutes, and you can see that there's virtually no broth left in the pan, this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat. And we'll cover the pan with a dishcloth and let it sit here for a couple minutes. This is such an important step. By trapping that steam in there, it's going to finish cooking up all that beautiful rice. After a couple minutes, I'm going to uncover the pan And we'll garnish our dish with a couple lemon wedges. And sprinkle it with some finely chopped parsley. Our Empedrado Murciano is done. A beautiful Spanish vegetable and bean rice. So easy to put together. Incredible aromas coming out of it. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. This rice dish came out looking so good. Here we go. It's absolutely delicious, truly. Probably one of the best rice dishes that hail from Spain. The rice is beautifully cooked. The kidney beans add an incredible texture, and then the paprika and saffron, an explosion of so much Spanish goodness. You saw this, very easy to make. Comes together in a little over 30 minutes, a beautiful dish from the region of Murcia. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin Giddings, Araminda Garimella, Robert Manahan, and Tamara Johnson. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one, as it really helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.